everyone, it's Melissa from 1000+ Books to Read, here today to review Adoption by Victoria Sullivan. There's the cover. And I've started kind of a new thing in the last couple of reviews. I'm going to read the back cover of the book, so that way you have information. In my blog post, I actually have this kind of posted there, so I figured I'd do the same for you in case you haven't heard of the book. You're not going to just be basing it on the information that I provide afterwards. So, when 6-year-old Mary's mother dies unexpectedly, she is adopted by her neighbors Val and David. But nothing about Mary or her adoption is normal. She's a giant, nearly 7 feet tall, brilliant and beautiful, the result of her mother's in vitro fertilization at a clinic in Vermilion, Louisiana. What happened? Did something go wrong? Or was it planned by doctors experimenting on humans? And if so, is it still happening in other fertility clinics in the United States, Russia, North Korea? Val, a reluctant mother and professor of biology, becomes detective and protector. Her own research on the genetics of polyploid plants that have multiple sets of chromosomes give her insights and sympathy for this super but outnumbered new race of humans. A new race that is threatened by the fearful government and public who want to eliminate them and their differences at any cost. Murder, mystery, speculative science, and a mother's love blend in a novel that asks us to consider what would happen if life were just a little bit different. This book was great. Great. Don't judge books by their covers. I am totally guilty of it too, and I must admit that having, this cover, it wasn't one that made me jump out and want to read it right away. And oh my gosh, I can't even tell you how many times I'm tricked by these covers. This was incredible. Very exciting book, very exciting concept, very exciting ideas, very exciting world. I can't tell you how much I enjoyed it. Like, I could not put this book down. I had a little bit of trouble with the beginning. In the beginning, like the book says, Mary is, once her mother dies, she is given over to Val and David. Val and David are their neighbors, except they don't know each other at all. So of course Val was kind of like, what the heck, when Mary shows up, and Mary is 7 feet tall, so they think that she's an adult when she's actually a 6-year-old. Genetics, the fertility clinic just made these superhumans, and by the time they're 6 years old, they're like adults. Not only adults in their height and physical, but they're adults mentally too. They're super intelligent. I mean, just incredible. But so Val and David, once they find out that Mary's mother is dead, they kind of help her along, and they kind of get around to the point where Mary's reading this letter that her mother wrote, and it says that Val and David are named her guardians, and Val's like, you don't need a guardian. I mean, you're a grown woman. And Mary's like, no, I'm 6 years old. And so at that point, Val becomes on the defensive, and she thinks, oh no, this is a scam. I don't know what the heck's going on, but this is not okay. And Mary goes, and she's like, no, I have my birth certificate, I'll show you. And so they think the birth certificate is, a fake. And eventually, Val comes around and David comes around. And it was a little hard for me at first to get how quickly it is they allowed this person, like, into their home. Like, seriously, it went from her mother dies, Mary's on their doorstep. And even with the reservations that they had about whether she's telling the truth or not about her age and, everything else, they still let her spend the night. So I found that a little hard to grasp. I'm not sure that if I were in that position that I would allow someone that I really don't know to live in my house, or even to stay the night for one night. It's, they didn't even call the cops at that point about, like, the situation and about whether they believed it or not. So it was kind of kept under wraps. I do know that Val and David actually wanted to have a child, and they just never kind of got around to doing anything Val works a lot at being a biology professor, obviously. So that was the only trouble I had believing in this book. Otherwise, everything was super realistic, from the way that I think the government would have been to the way that I think the public would react if this were to actually happen. I think it was dead on, and it was sad in a way, because, you know, I'm reading this book and I'm like, oh my gosh, here are these poor children who are 6 and 7 years old, and they're going through so many things because their body is maturing, and you know, no one really wants to believe them, and they're singled out because they're so different. And you know, there's hate mongers all over the place that you can find for just about anything, but of course, being superhuman, you know, you're more at risk. And you know, my heart went out to these kids, and you know, wanted I guess in the motherly way, just like Val, to make sure that everything was okay and that they were taken care of. And it was really sad, because I know the troubles that they were having would be real if that were to happen in our world. And it's really sad and troubling that that's something that you know, as you're reading a book, you're kind of thinking that, whoa, this is reality, or this is the way reality would be. The only other thing that I kind of struggled with is the high content of science in the book. If you like science, you will enjoy this, because it does go into a lot of the scientific portion of how these superhumans were engineered, and their chromosomes and things of that sort. I'm not particularly into all that, so it was a little off-putting for me, but not so much. I mean, I was able to kind of grasp the concepts, obviously, but I didn't enjoy reading all of that so much. But it does lend a background. It does lend, you know, the knowledge for you to understand how these superhumans were created, and why certain biological functions and things of that sort happen. But I love this book, and I'm so happy. I emailed the author as soon as I was done, and I was telling her, you know, I'm getting ready to review this book, and please tell me there's a book 2, because I really want to know what ended up happening to everyone. And there is a book 2. Yay! I don't know when that's coming out, but I will definitely be getting it as soon as it does come out. I cannot wait to find out what happens to Mary and John, and everyone else. And also, great news, the author has donated a book for giveaway, so you, yay, can be winning one of these. And if you don't win it, go out and buy it anyways, because it's great. It is well worth the read. It's a short book, 164 pages, but trust me, it's great. You want it. You want it. You want to win it. You want to buy it. You want this book. Okay, anyways, so that's the review for today. We'll be having the giveaway on the blog, so go ahead and hop over there. I'll have all the links in the down bar as usual. If you're new around here, please hit subscribe. If you know anyone who likes books, please send them our way. Have them subscribe too. Share us along. Until next time, have a great day. Bye.